Hey everyone, welcome back to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. I'm your host, Anthony Toma. We're here with Lucas Kello, who happens to be family too, on top of being a world-ranked squash player or nationally ranked squash player, 20th in the nation. Why don't you introduce yourself, tell a little bit about what you do professionally, and then we'll get into the squash and all of your other athletics.
So yeah, I'm Lucas. I'm 18, and I currently am interning at Lakeview Lending. It's a mortgage firm, and I want to pursue that possibly for my future, start my own company. And yeah, I've been playing squash my whole life growing up. A lot of people don't really know what it is, so I'm kind of here to introduce that to you guys.
Let's run the game down. Do the squash 101.
So squash is you're in a box. You got four walls, and you're
Like what? Like in a box, like what? Like racquetball?
Yeah, like
or-
exactly
okay.
like racquetball. It's basically the same court, and your goal is just to hit the front wall. You can hit the back wall or side walls before you hit the front wall. You have to hit the front wall, and the goal is to make the ball bounce twice to win the point.
Okay.
Each game is up to 11. It's best of 5 games. So first to 3 games.
All right. And so how did you get involved in that?
So my dad joined a athletic club called the Birmingham Athletic Club. It's right over here. And they've always had courts, and my dad just introduced me to it. And I just fell in love with the game, and played it ever since, and had to be really good at it, which was very lucky.
So before you came along, your dad was the #1 Chaldean squash player in the world.
Yes, that's right.
That's correct. Correct. Yeah, and then so what happened to for him to drop down to #2?
I just took over. He fortunately tore his knee.
Oh no.
And then eventually I passed him. He coached me up my whole life, got
Yep.
me really good, and eventually took over the family.
Oh boy. So John Kello,
Yeah.
my cousin John Kello, your dad John Kello, Layla's husband John Kello, Case Mana's brother-in-law John Kello. That John Kello, right?
That John Kello.
Okay. Very cool. So more about squash, the ranking, how you learn the game. I know you said you learned from the BAC playing. So you play against grown-ass men, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
And you have been for a very long time.
Literally my whole life.
Okay.
There's also some juniors there, but most there's 4 or 5, but really just adults then gets you better.
And so where did you get this athletic inclination from, and then what other sports do you play?
So my dad's a pretty good athlete, and I've always just loved sports so much, and I grew up playing every sport possible. But I've always been, especially just go with a racket. As long as squash, I'm an all-state tennis player as well.
Okay.
So anything with a racket, whatever it is, it just feels natural with me, and I'm just happen to be really good at it.
You righty, lefty, what are you?
I'm a righty.
Righty, okay. And so you've won ping pong championships too at Shenandoah Country Club?
Yeah, 2 times.
All right.
2 times.
Really?
Yeah.
2-timer. Very good. So back to squash. So you grew up playing squash. You played squash. What kind of tournaments are there out there? How would somebody get started playing squash if they don't know the game and they kind of want to get involved?
So there is a website called ussquash.org, and basically you can sign up for tournaments anywhere throughout the country, in the Midwest, wherever you want to go, wherever you're located, and you can just sign up for tournaments on that website, and lots of juniors play. And there's different tournament rankings, and there's bronze, silver, gold, JCT, and then there's the U.S. championships. So as you progress as a player, you get to move up into those tournaments, and as long as when the tournaments go up, the ranking points go up. So if you do good in a gold tournament, you get a certain amount of points. It's 2,000, and that applies to your ranking. So the way you get a ranking is you play 4 tournaments, or you can play as many tournaments as you want. But your best 4 tournaments, they add those points together and divide it by how many you've played, and that's how you get your ranking points.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and that's how you would acquire a ranking and go about playing tournaments. ussquash.org.
ussquash.org. And so what do you need to get started playing squash?
Nothing much. A place to play, a racket, some goggles, and just a two dotted ball, and that's really all it is.
What's a two-dotted ball?
So there's different balls. There's a one dot ball for beginners, and that ball bounces a lot more. Because squash is a game where the ball just dies a lot. You have to be really quick on your feet. With the one dotted ball, the ball will bounce up more, make it easier for you to hit it. The two dot ball, the ball is a lot more dead. You have to warm it up a lot to get it to even bounce at all.
Really?
And if you're a beginner, you can't really play with a two dot ball. You're not ready for it.
Oh, okay. So what's the strategy? Like, how do you get better? Playing a lot, obviously, but what else?
So a lot of time when people think about practice, think about like playing against other people. But it's like I think when I've got the most better at squash is playing by myself.
Really?
It's not. There's not a lot of sports where you can play by yourself. And squash is a sport where you actually can. You just hit the ball against the wall by yourself. Practice each shot individually. Whether you're hitting the ball against the wall to yourself or you have a ball machine, you put in hours and hours every day, every week, and you significantly get better.
Really? That's interesting. Did you take lessons?
Yes, I had two coaches. Julian Wellings, who was my coach my whole life. He's former number 30 in the whole world, and another coach named John Geeky, who is around 100 in the world. Both best coaches who I could ever ask for.
Yeah. What are they? American born
British.
guys? Both British.
From England.
Okay. And where did this squash game come from? Do you know the history of squash at all?
I believe it did start in England, but it or in Egypt. Those two countries are the most dominant for sure, especially Egyptians. I actually got the opportunity to go to Egypt last summer and be able to train with some of the best players in the world, actually.
Really?
So we know a man named Mohamed El Sherbini, who's 20th in the world, and I luckily got to train with him, practice with him, and then go to a tournament in the Netherlands, the Dutch Open, which is a blessing to play in.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
When you see, it's awesome to see just like the different type of people around the world that so many people play this game. Because when you come to America, like what people are like, what is squash? But when you go out to like Egypt, England, any place in Europe, squash is one of the main sports.
Is it really?
It's really cool to see. So,
It's one of the main sports?
Yeah, especially
Really?
Egypt, besides soccer, of course, it's
course.
the main sport. In England as
kidding.
well.
Wow.
It's awesome, yeah.
What kind of money can someone make at playing squash? I know in these states probably not a lot, but
It's a decent living. I wouldn't say. I wish the viewers were more. But so like if you're in the top ranked players, you're making about $1 million to $2 million a year.
Oh, really?
That's mostly with sponsors though. The prize
Right,
money
right.
isn't all there yet. They're looking
Yeah.
for, of course, like donors and sponsors to get those tournaments prize money up more. But if you're on the lower ranked side of the sport, which is unfortunate, you're not making as much money. You are struggling a lot.
Right.
Is very
You're probably
unfortunate.
paying to play and
exactly.
travel and all that
Yeah.
good stuff. But I guess that's almost anything really that you do. And if you could play a sport for a living,
It's a blessing.
it's a blessing. Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Especially when at that level, you know, the crowds, the accolades, the experience, and to be traveling all over the world like you have to kind of get down and play is pretty interesting too.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Being a Chaldean kid from Bloomfield Hills,
Yeah.
tearing it up all over the world. Your parents travel with you when you travel?
Sometimes, most of the when I was younger, all the time. But
Yeah.
now that I can drive more, if it's a tournament like closer within like 5-6 hours, I'll go. I actually went to Egypt by myself.
Well, yeah, I remember your dad talking about that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was awesome. That was like kind of let me out the nest a little, and I got to experience stuff for my own.
So, how many different places have you played in? A lot.
I couldn't give you an exact number, but like probably 100.
Rattle off like 10. I know Pittsburgh was one, right?
Pittsburgh, St. Louis, California, Texas, Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania.
No shit, everywhere. huh?
Egypt, Netherlands, everywhere in the Midwest.
Yeah.
A lot of most places on the East Coast as well. Cali, Florida, and Texas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Martin Manna is on the Olympic advisory for the Iraq, right?
That's right.
And so he's trying to help you get some I guess, a representation for the Iraqi team.
That's right.
In the Olympics.
Yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit if you can.
Yeah. So I can't say too much about
Right.
that, but I'll just say he's definitely putting in a word there. They are looking for American players with grandparents or parents born in Iraq. They're looking for more of those players like that. Another example is Sam Yono for the golf.
Oh, really?
So yeah, they are looking for a lot of American players, but yeah, it's really cool to be able to even talk about possibly playing in the Olympics.
For sure.
It depends on the format, of course, and if Iraq can qualify, but that's always an opportunity possibly there.
So, Mark Hajar, so the Chaldean Football League's been around forever. It's flag football. Flag football is going to be an Olympic event in the 2028 Olympics.
Yes.
In Los Angeles, I think it's
Yes,
in Los
it
Angeles,
is.
California, and Mexico and Canada too. I
Yes.
think it's all over the place. Or maybe that's the World Cup. I'm sorry. No, that's the World Cup.
I think it's all in
The
LA.
Olympics is all in LA.
Yes.
So Mark Hajar had the idea of putting in or trying to get a team from here to represent Iraq, just like in the same kind of loophole that you guys are working on. And I did actually have a conversation with Martin about it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get a Chaldean
amazing.
flag football team to represent the country of Iraq. Would be amazing.
That'd be
too.
so cool for the
Yeah.
whole community. I think everyone would show out for that.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. It'd be beautiful.
But yeah.
So, what about your tennis career? You said you were state
Yeah, I was an all-state tennis player this
all-state
year.
tennis player for.
Brother Rice High School.
Okay.
Yeah. So my tennis career wasn't like I didn't really think of it at all till like really I came to high school. I would always play like country club tennis in the summer. I would never get like actually like go to the sport at all.
Yeah.
And once I went to country day my freshman year.
Okay.
And I just didn't make the team, and so I just decided not to play at all, and because I was like, oh, I think it's BS. But
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
but then
Fuck that coach.
Yeah. But then I transferred to Brother Rice, and the coach there, his name is Casey Cullen, who was like literally changed my whole tennis trajectory and career. Like he made me and crafted me into like an unbelievable,
That's
much
crazy.
better player.
It's crazy how much a coach can have influence on how you play and where you rank. Like an all-state, that's a big deal.
I went
from a kid that didn't even want to play.
Anyway, I went from not making a country day team who was much worse than us, who I beat the next year actually.
Oh, nice.
Which was
Sweet
little
revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To becoming an all-state tennis player, which was truly a blessing and like just unreal feeling.
Very nice. So you want to take your talents to West Bloomfield High on Sunday mornings for the Chaldean flag football, the CFL.
Of course.
You mentioned John Banham. Who else? So the coaches are Lance Simona, Nate Karumi, Justin Oro, Dominic Klejbu, and Andrew, why am I blanking there? That shit. No way.
I think Andrew's gonna be mad.
Yeah, he's gonna be mad. That's my fucking boy too. Shango.
Okay.
God dang, man, what the hell is going on? It was my birthday back in December, so I got a little older. Yeah. So who would you want to play for?
I think Dom Kejbu.
Oh, yeah?
He's a younger guy.
Yes,
So
he
I mean,
is
he's
younger.
coming in with a different mindset than some of the older veteran
Vet, yeah,
captains.
yeah,
so
yeah.
I think that'd just be a fun time on his team for sure,
yeah.
and get to show my skills.
He's I think he's won it every single year that he's been in the league.
I mean,
so that's a kind of a fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun guy to play for.
Yeah, for sure.
Playing the Gia Cup your first year, win it, and then win it for another 2-3 years, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Right. So what else can we say about squash that people out there should know or could know? Or
I would say give it a chance. Like look into it, because it's looked up. It's actually, if you look it up, it's the healthiest sport in the world.
what do you mean that? What does that mean? The healthiest sport in the world.
You burn the most calories. You get into the best shape by playing squash over any other sport.
Really?
I've played squash and tennis, two of the healthiest sports in the world. And there's actually a study that shows one of the longest squash matches in the world compared to like one of the longest tennis matches ever. And squash ran like 5 miles compared to like a tennis 2.
Oh, I see. Wow.
So you're moving a lot more. I wouldn't be able to be in such great like physical and athletic shape or else without that. I can run a 5-minute mile and I've never ran track in my life.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy how it all just flips over to it.
But so it's the wear and tear is heavy on your body, or is it your pops' knee was just gonna go anyway?
He was going. He ran marathons. He was due for a busted knee.
Oh, okay. I had a hip replacement, and I don't know if he's headed for a knee replacement or what's his deal.
I think he might. I don't know if he had one.
No, he did not have one.
Okay.
No, I would have known that.
He had meniscus surgery.
Yeah.
But
So that cured it, you think?
yeah, he's good now, but he doesn't really. He's just a golfer now.
He does not?
He does not. He just golfs now.
He just golfs now.
Just
Okay,
golfs
okay.
now.
And so you guys were all in Traverse City recently, or
for
Boyne?
Petoskey.
Petoskey, yeah. For the Gia Cup?
Yeah, we missed you.
Yeah. And I will not miss the next one or anyone in the future. Kareem Toma actually took all you youngins down. 85-year-old man came and shocked the world.
51 Stableford points in the last day.
What does that mean?
So for the scoring for Gia Cup is if you get a birdie like to your handicap, you get like 2 or 3 points. And like the max anyone was getting like the whole time throughout the day was like 36, 38.
Oh, shit.
And he just came out and got 51. And like, my brother Derek Kello was like about to win. He thought he won because he thought he thought there's no way this guy just had 51 points.
Right.
And then Derek came back and was like, what the
heck?
hell,
I
man?
lost. That's great. And I heard Derek was a very, very good sport about
the
whole thing, of course.
Of course. If you're gonna lose to one guy like that,
right.
that's the guy. That's the guy.
That's the guy. The Godfather.
Yeah, exactly.
And Gia's brother.
Yeah, that was really cool to get his name on the trophy.
Really
special.
Cool. He called me like 2 days later, and he was still on cloud 9.
I bet he
was not coming down. He was. I never thought in my whole life, in a million years, I would beat these young guys like that.
He killed us. He just came out and killed us.
That was great.
Yeah, he's the man. 85 doing that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. God bless him. So squash, back to squash. Anyone can play.
Anyone can play. You could be a homeless man off the street. Start. If you just need a racket, goggles, and a ball.
That's it.
That's it. You find a court somewhere. There's a place called Rack It Up it's in Detroit, and it helps urban and not as lucky children. They teach them how to play the sport. They also give them an actual education for school.
Oh, really?
So it's really cool. I mean,
It's a foundation or something?
Yes, it's a nonprofit organization. I mean, if anyone's interested.
What's it called?
Rack It Up Detroit.
Rack It Up Detroit.
And there's a lot of urban squash programs throughout the country. There's another one in Chicago called Metro Squash, another one in Cleveland called Urban Squash. There's a lot of these throughout the country.
We're going to try to find these links and put them in the description below if somebody wants to donate, because that sounds like a phenomenal cause. And squash being, so where would they play if they're in the city and they
I would go to Rack It Up Detroit. They let anyone come in and play.
Oh, it's a facility.
Yes, it's a full facility. They just built a brand new facility about 2 years ago, and it's unbelievable.
Who funded this?
Lots of donors.
Lots of donors?
They have a lot of donors.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, you got a lot of. I mean, squash is it's a wealthier sport. So the people who come in from the Detroit Athletic Club, the BAC, a lot of them are donating a lot of money, raising money for this program, and it's
that's amazing.
It's become amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad we talked about that because that would have been a terrible thing to not
skip
kind
over,
of
yeah. It's cool to see like a lot of like kids who aren't as fortunate get to play a sport you'd think they'd never be introduced to it ever.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to see. And some of them are getting really good. There's a girl who got a full ride who went to Racket Up Detroit. Started out there, played her whole life. She had a full ride to St. Lawrence College for squash.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah, they are sending kids to college for it.
That's
it's
cool.
amazing.
Very, very cool. Speaking of Detroit, my buddy John Lepak is reopening Kronk Gym down there. And they do a lot of community outreach and a lot of community services. And they also, you can go to Kronk. We'll find the link.
Yeah.
And we'll put it in the description. You can go to Kronk and donate there and buy some of their merch. And, you know, they do a lot for the community, bring up youth programs and teach kids to box and,
Wow.
and defend themselves. And John Lepak's doing a lot of good for the city.
Good for him. It's good you gotta teach everyone to defend themselves.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Absolutely. Well, so it was great having you. Did we forget
appreciate
anything that we want to mention about the squash? Are you still playing?
Not as much. I'm gonna play. I mean, I'm going to college soon, so
Where are you going?
I'm going to Michigan State University.
They have a program there, a squash team?
Unfortunately, they don't. I really wish they did. And like a goal for me would be to like start a squash thing there. If they had courts anywhere nearby, that'd be an awesome goal for me to just like introduce it to people everywhere. Because like I think it should be a sport that everyone knows about. And like a lot of my friends, like I tell them I play squash, they're like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "You guys like," and then whenever I take them to play, they're like, "This is the most fun thing I've ever done."
Really? That's
So, yeah.
awesome.
But yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. So we end every show with a question, and the question is, what does it mean to you to be Chaldean?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's why we ask it.
Being Chaldean means everything to me. I used to not embrace the culture as much. I used to think like, I'd be like, well, my aunts and uncles are crazy.
Yeah.
But as I've grown up, I've like grown to appreciate like everything we have, whether it's the food, the weddings, but especially like how close like our families are and how big they are. Like, I noticed like a lot of my friends, like they have like small families. They're like, I don't see my cousins ever, and like my cousins are like the closest people to me in my life. So it's really actually such a blessing to have like such big families. Just have like the culture we have to be able to like be with one another like every day. Like all my cousins, we live within 5 minutes from each other. I see them every single day of the week.
It's beautiful. And Shane Manna is your cousin?
Shane Manna, Julian
So
Manna.
do we want to talk about the ass whooping you gave him coaching flag football versus him?
Yeah, we can talk about
Let's
that.
talk about that before we close it out.
Shane Manna was a 10-year coach for his little brother Xander's team in flag football. And, you know, I just happened to form a team with my little cousins, the Jonas, Joey Jonah, shout out him. And, you know, we just happened to kick their ass, mercy them one game.
Sorry, sugar.
And then when one game in the championship game, we had our regular team, and Shane recruited 5 new kids who had just never been in the league before.
Amazing.
And it's unreal how they just happened to show up, and then, you know, we still beat them. But yeah.
Well, that's good.
Shane,
That's a great way to close it out. But go ahead. No, finish it up.
Oh, I mean,
you finish your thought.
You know, I love my cousin Shane, but you know, he always tries to, you know, get his way. I had to put him down here a little.
Yeah, okay, for sure. Well, great having you.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot.
It's awesome that people, hopefully, they know a little bit more about squash.
Yeah.
We got a little dig at Shane, which was fun too.
That's always fun.
And you said your aunts and uncles were crazy or all that, but they are.
They are. Yeah.
They are crazy.
Don't worry, I know.
Right, okay. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Go get yourself a squash paddle, a two dotted ball, and some goggles.
There
get
you
your
go.
asses out there.